Hey, Oscar, here's a little bit of a tidbit for you.
Yeah?
Don't feel confident with your body when having sex?
I don't. What do I do, Carl?
Flick off that switch, make it a little bit darker.
Ooh, 50 Shades.
Good enough.
Good enough.
One of those will work.
Click. Done.
Alrighty then. Today we're going to be talking about 50 Shades Darker. It currently has a 4.6 on IMDb, an 11% on Rotten Tomatoes, and a 2 on Letterboxd. Oscar, what's the plot?
Christian and Anna rekindle their relationship. But guess what, Carl? There's more characters to play at this time. That's right. We've got Stalky X. So there's a Stalky X, that Christian's former lover, former submissive. We've got Anna has a boss named Jack, and he's pretty angry. And there's and that's the plot. And that's the plot. I'll be honest, we've started doing these big plot. I wanted to do like a big summary of the plot, and we picked the worst films for that because, goodness.
So Oscar and I, when we began the podcast again for this year, we took a step back and we were like, how can we improve?
Yeah.
And one of the things was we need to get people to follow the plot of the movies more because we jump around with our gags.
Yeah.
We have been unsuccessful at doing that because we pick movies with no plot. But you need to know the very minute plot details to get... So we've really just alienated the audience more than ever.
We're going to over-explain this plot but doesn't have one.
Oh, God. Anyway, and we're going to jump right into it.
What's the sexiest thing you can think of, Carl?
God, a nightmare?
Yeah, how about that? How about an orphan under a cupboard while his parents, I assume, one's a drug addict, one's a mean person, burn cigarettes into your body. That's sexy. That's how you open a film.
It's a Valentine's Day release. You've got a guy sitting up the back of the cinema, nude in a jacket. He's touching himself and he's like, this isn't what I wanted.
Ironically, someone under a trench coat probably did want that. Wow.
Somebody was up the back burning themselves with cigarettes and they were like, 4D cinema's never been better. Oh.
Shrek 4D and now this.
Oh, what's all that moaning up the back? Is Sia here? Alright, so let's start it off. Her and Christian aren't together.
No.
She's got a job at a publishing firm.
Yes.
There's a sexy guy that works at the firm.
Yes.
Is this After We Collide?
We were discussing this. We were thinking, did After just steal the concept of a kind of loner sort of virgin working at a book sort of publishing company, or is this just every female writer was like, well, I can't think of what else at this.
I do love the trends. So it started with Stephanie Meyer sitting down and going, I'm going to do my original vampire love premise.
Yes.
Which then got turned into smutty vampire fan fiction, which then got turned into 50 Shades of Grey, which then got turned into a fan fiction with Harry Styles, which then got turned into its own books and films in the After Trilogy.
What will come next?
Like,
I want to take Harden's character
and I'm going to put Steve Martin in there.
See what happens.
People of our age love Steve Martin, right? Cheaper by the dozen too?
Come on, you love it.
Who doesn't want this? Oh, God. Anyway, so, blah, blah, blah. She's having a good time. She's got the...
she's happy. She's happy.
Everything's going great for Dakota Johnson, or Anastasia.
Steele.
As somebody likes to call them. But she then goes to her friend's art exhibition. You know, that one that tried to get a little rapey in the last film.
You know, Jose.
Yeah, they're back to being friends.
Yes.
Don't know why.
I think he is literally getting cut straight off the bat.
Yeah.
But he probably has, like, the music by Danny Elfman. Did you know?
Yeah, the last one had it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, Danny Elfman.
Good score,
anyway,
actually.
Yes. Jose...
Rita Ora's in this.
Jose he's a photographer. I think his photos are shit because they're just 6 portraits of Anna. Just kind of like nice headshots.
I had this issue in the last movie, is that he goes to take the photos of Christian Grey.
Yeah.
The setup is so big, and there's so much equipment, but it's just him.
Just him.
What, you brought a fucking truck? This would have taken you hours to unload and set up?
Grand hall. It's insane, isn't it?
Jose is like, yeah, I rented this.
with my money that I have.
Christian Grey was like, yeah, well, I bought it. I bought it.
He does that move so often in this film.
Oh my god. There's the line, he fucking like, when was the last time you went shopping? Last week. I bought an airline. What?
It's such a shitty rich person joke. Anyway, yes.
So she walks into this art exhibition. It's her. It's all her. The whole exhibition is her. Fucking weird.
Biggest gripe, though, is that she then says, I didn't know he took these photos of me. There's like 12 that are her looking down the
right
lens.
at the camera.
So close up. And I'm going, what? Anyway, Jose is just...
He plays dumb. He's like, but you're gorgeous in them.
Yeah. I love you, by the way, Anna. He's like, anyway, I'm going to sell them to people. Hopefully no one I don't want buys them.
Somebody bought all 6 and tells her that. Do you reckon she wants to know? Because let's say Christian Grey wasn't the one that bought them.
Yeah.
It's like that, like a little creep walks in and is like, they're all mine. And you're going to be hanging on my wall.
You're going to be hanging on my wall, kitten.
You'd be like, oh, God. She'd be like, I'll fucking buy them then. Oh, on my assistant publisher's salary, I'm gonna buy these.
Yeah.
Because you've invaded my You shouldn't. You know what? I technically own these. I wouldn't even mind if you started throwing red paint at them.
That's actually a pretty good art piece, actually. Well,
so let's get to...
So Jose doesn't get her consent. That's a theme in the film.
So then Christian rocks up. She's like, hey, you bought these. And he's like, dinner, me and you. And she's like, okay.
Yeah.
And he's like, you're leaving already? You just rocked up. And she's like, you took pictures of me without consent. You sold them for money. And you want me to stay around and see what else happens.
Yeah.
No. She goes out to dinner. And now I'm gonna admit something to you right now.
Yeah.
I watched the extended cut of this one.
Oh, you fool. You foolish fool.
So a lot of my...
Stop doing this. We know they're bad films.
I buy the film, I rent it, and it's like, you don't get a choice. It's just what they give you.
You get a choice if you do it legally, Carl. Like I did.
I did do it legally, bought it for YouTube.
Did you? How much did it cost?
$4.99 for HD. So there's probably some extended pieces in this movie that I'm going to be like, why is this taking so long?
Yeah.
So I don't know if this was in yours, but a waiter tries to open a cork
that happens in
for
mine.
a long amount of time, and Christian's like, just leave the fucking bottle.
I'm certain, because I think at this point, the two actors, they're not great. Do you think? I mean, they're good actors, but do you think they were friendly on set? No.
There's not an ounce of They both look pissed off to be there.
Yeah.
Like, they went to their agents and went, hey, can you get me out of this? And the agents went, like the contract you signed in the film. No.
Does she ever sign the contract originally? I don't think she does.
I don't know.
I mean, it's the most important plot point of the first film, and yet, who cares?
Yeah. Maybe if you're into legal dramas, maybe you like the first one.
I was going to say, the horniest scene was them signing that anal fisting.
Was.
Retract that. Fisting.
But I think
amend that.
Already this movie's off to a good start because she does get her iPhone.
She does get an iPhone.
And I was pretty chuffed.
Thank Jesus.
I was like, oh, thank God she's not fucking poor. That's right. If you haven't got an iPhone, you're poor in my eyes.
I think that's correct. In fairness, she was sexting Christian Grey by pressing 5 like 3 times. Like, sex. Now?
But she keeps on like walking out of buildings, and this stalker walks up to her and is like, Anastasia.
Yes.
And she's like, hey, who are you? And she's like, I'm nobody. And like fades away. And I'm like, why'd you approach her if you weren't going to talk to her?
That's like, this film, whereas the last film had not really much sex and not really much of a plot, this film went, okay, that was pretty boring. Let's make it let's mix horror. Let's mix tension.
There's much more conflict constantly happening in this one. But it seems like they definitely went and were like, we've heard what you've said. We've heard your complaints. Less sex in a longer film. Yes? Yes?
It's insane. They can't treat sex in this just like, do we have to do that?
It's like they heard me say helicopters crash all the time. And they went, well, that's in the film now.
That's in the film now. I was happy that was in there.
So... her boss is called Hyde.
Oh, is it actually?
Yeah.
Oh, Jack. Oh, and
so
Hyde.
People need to sit down and go, look, E.L. James, you can't name yourself So you definitely can't name fucking characters in this.
That is abysmal. His name's Jack Hyde.
I don't know if it's his last name's Hyde though.
But his name's definitely named Jack.
Is it?
Yeah. So it's Jack Hyde.
Oh no! That's terrible.
That's awful writing.
Oh god. So
that's so bad because he's so just like.
Shut it down. Pack it up. I'm going home.
Because his only character is he looks kind of nice on the outside, but when you get behind closed doors,
he's a bit rapey.
Bit rapey.
He's also like to coax her into his musk.
Yeah.
Because he's a fucking cunt. He's like, oh, are you going to join us for drinks? Me and the rest of the office have a bit of a Friday ritual that we all go get drinks. And she's like, sure. It's just her and him that go down to the bar. And then when Christian's like, we're going to go, and it's just him left alone, I'm like, is your ritual you drinking alone in a bar every Friday? Is that what it is?
I don't think anyone in this office likes him. But yeah, it's very... Listen, here's the thing. Both men in this are bad people. One, Jack very evilly coaxes her into a date.
There's one good person in it. Christian's brother. He's still a fucking sweetheart.
He's absolutely gorgeous, isn't he? Him and Kate. Oh, I love it, because I think they've written Kate and the brother into the film, and gone, we don't need them. So at the start, they're on a Skype call, just like, we're on holiday, bye!
I'm convinced they were just spending their money that they made from the first movie. And they were like, do we just go on a holiday and not be in the sequel? Yeah. And they were like, yeah, sure. And the director was like, can you at least send us a You know what? This annoyed me, is when it ended, it said, voicemail ending. There was picture. It's not a voicemail when they send picture.
It's just like a little simple thing in the film. I don't know how they don't get technology. In fact, they had a flip phone in the first one, so they've done better, but like...
You could tell a producer was just like, the fuck are those tablet things? Nobody uses them. Get this woman a flip phone. Get them one of those ones where it has every key like it's on a keyboard and it flips up from out of the phone.
You know, what year is it? 2008? Good.
Is she running to an iPod? Get this woman a Discman. The fuck is this?
Can we just page her? Is that an option?
What, are they going to the movies? That's not what you do. Where's their VCR player? Oh, God.
Go to a silent film. That's what the kids do nowadays, right?
So after they have their little run with their boss, they then go home to have dinner with themselves.
Yes.
And Christian opens a capsicum in the most erotic way.
Effortlessly.
I said, capsicum? More like capsy-cum. I'll let that one just sit there.
And just sit there for a bit. I'll say this now. The cooking scene is probably the most sexually, like...
It was the horniest I've been in both of the films so far.
This was proper good acting. I was like on my edge of my seat. They were cooking like capsicum and like an onion, and I was like, God, just take me, both of you.
Oh my God, absolutely. I would do anything to be that capsicum right now.
He like cuts off the stem, rolls it out, cuts it so fine.
You could tell that the two actors had definitely not eaten that day to make it seem like there was chemistry. Not between the two of them, but with the food that they were creating.
And they kind of just CGI the eyes to them.
Oh, the director definitely walked up and went, whatever you guys make, you get to eat after we finish this shot. And they went... Immediately, there was a connection. It's like, what are you making? I'm going to make a risotto. I'll make a bisque.
Oh, okay, we'll talk about it. So the director's been cut from the first one.
Yeah.
That first female to make the most money ever, they were like, get rid of her!
Yeah, they were basically like, hey, remember how you made one of the biggest films of the year and the highest grossing film of a woman ever? Get out.
Get out. We're
replacing you with a man.
This old white man. I saw behind the scenes them just like the director and the author, and they're just sitting in this little like chair, and the camera's like over them. They're just kind of, I think they were fucking. I genuinely, they were just kind of, because like they were having a sex scene, and those two were just kind of like, what are you doing about that? And just like I was just like, oh, not a fan.
So after they've fucked and eaten, a woman watches them sleep.
Yes.
But then Anastasia wakes up and she's gone.
Yes.
So does this posit the fact that that woman is a spirit?
I think so. She's pale like a ghost. I don't know. She looks... Okay, so we find out what her like backstory is.
Yeah.
Why does she look like this?
So her husband's died.
Yes.
And Christian was like, I thought she was fine with the whole thing. I horribly abused her with sex for years.
Yep.
Then she married, and the only other person she knew in her life died. And now she's come back to me, and I don't really know why, and I don't know how this really... And I'm like, wow, it's almost like you're psychologically abusing these women.
Yeah.
Because she even calls you Master still, and is like,
oh, God.
Why does Master let you call him by his real name? And I'm like, this reiterates more how fucked up you are, and how fucked up it was that older woman has been having sex with you since you were 15.
And you kind of go, oh, this is not kinky. This is a man it's been tortured.
Is this the most problematic film ever? It's probably one of. I was like, there's so many issues with these movies.
There's a lot of it, yeah, because they brush over the child, like, abuse, and, like, just make it I don't mind that BDSM stuff, but, like, don't commit to this weird backstory of, like, yeah, he got tortured as a kid, that's why he tortures women. You're like... I don't know, that's sexy.
I think like the only thing the director knew to bring to this was the fact that adults don't find sex sexy. They find cooking at home sexy.
Oh my
God, they love... Oh God, we've got to go out and do this thing tonight until one of them goes, should we just stay in?
Should we stay in?
That's the horniest shit somebody can say to me. Hey, I know that we've planned this event with all these people that we should probably go make an appearance to, but do you want to stay in? And I'm just like, oh, yes.
The chicken's defrosting.
I've taken the legs out of the freezer. And I've taken my legs out of my pants. And I am ready.
That is the least sexiest sentence. I've taken my legs out of my pants. I present to you my legs.
What? I had zipper pants, so I just went right down the calves. Zzz.
Connects to your high waist Converse zips. Zoop.
I wore the pants that are only made out of zips. Just a spiral
going around your leg like, I present you my leg.
Call an ambulance. Everything's caught. Everything is caught. Please call an ambulance.
I should have shaved. There's so much pubic hair entangled in the zips.
Oh God, who knew my foreskin was this big? This unhealthily big.
There's blood on my leather pants. You have to go now.
I will die. It's like I've cut the jugular in my balls. Please help me. Why do we stay in? What a terrible idea.
Get the frozen peas. They're defrosting. Oh my fucking God. You dumb bitch. I need medical attention.
We should have gone out. I wouldn't have worn the zipper pants.
Oh.
Anyway, so we meet Mrs. Robinson. It's not her name, but because she horribly abused a child, we've named her Mrs. Robinson.
No, but Anna calls her Mrs. Robinson to Christian Grey. Yeah, so we meet her at this. So Christian's like, I know what'll make my girlfriend less freaked out. She's seen a creepy girl. I'll take her to the hairdresser of the woman that abused me. And Anna's like, wow, that was really upsetting. And he's like, what the hell?
Yeah, he's like, you can't be upset about that. She's like, I'm going to go on a long walk. So they have their whole thing. A Christian and her, they like sit down at a table and they discuss some shit. I don't know if you noticed, but there's like a rock on his table. Like a giant square rock?
I did, yes.
Is it a rock or a sandwich? Is it a rock or a sandwich?
I'm glad we talk about this. Okay, so it's this perfectly square cut rock.
Yeah.
It's like a geode, but like the top's white, the bottom's white, and inside is like entwangled.
Yeah.
I did think it was a very artistic sandwich.
Yeah, I thought it was I think on the count of 3, let's both say what we thought it was. 1, 2, 3. Sandwich.
Turkey sandwich.
Let's go again.
3,
1, 2, 3. Turkey
rock.
sub.
1, 2, 3.
Penis. 1,
2, 3. Penis. You piece of
Let's do this the rest of the podcast.
No, I think it works. That's the issue with it. And I think we shouldn't abuse it just right. We'll sprinkle it back in. Okay.
So to make him more sensitive...
Yes.
They've gone, how do we make Christian more likable? Let's set where his boundaries are. So Anastasia gets some lipstick, and he guides her hands to draw an outline.
Because when he was an orphan, he got burnt by a cigarette. Did he have that in the first film?
Yeah, I don't think he did.
No. So on his chest now, he has, like, a road map of
It's like a geographical map.
Yeah. Of the United States.
Just bumpy as everything, and his nipples are erect as all hell. and she's just drawn around them, and he's like, "This is my no spot."
Yeah, so she gets lipstick, draws it around. Is this the most powerful scene in cinema?
I think it is. My issue is it doesn't come back. Unless, and this is my guess for the third movie, he's got his hand somewhere,
yeah.
and Anastasia's gonna fall off a building, and the only way she can crawl back up is by using his nipples and hanging from them. To which he has to pull her back up, and is like, "I've gotten over the pain of my stepdad because I saved you with my nipples.
However, my nipples are in greater pain than I've ever been in."
Please, you've turned them blue. You've blued my nipples.
Well, you say it doesn't come back, but it doesn't really come back thematically, but the red paint is on him for, like, the rest of the film.
Yeah, there's, like, 90 minutes later, he's like, "Should we have a shower?" And she's like, "Should I wash off these?"
Red lipstick thing?
I'm convinced they used such, like, intense lipstick on him that when they were shooting the shower scene later that day, they went, "This is not coming off." But this scene's supposed to take place much later in the script. What do we do?
Just, it's strong lipstick. He was damaged. Let's rock it in.
So then they go to a masquerade ball.
Oh, but you get the makeover scene.
Sure, I couldn't give a shit. Go on.
What do you mean you couldn't give a shit? A gay Italian man goes, "Yuck, you look hideous. Let's make you better." And then she's at the ball.
Barely changes her because she was already attractive.
Yes. It's like the cliche. It's like, I'm just an unattractive nerdy girl, but she's a famous actress, so it's like, I don't know. What do you want me to do?
So they're at the masquerade ball. She gets some balls stuck up her vag.
Yes, that was so. He's like, I got these vagina balls.
Is this a fantasy? Does this count as sexual? Does this make anyone horny?
I think so. There's a demographic.
I feel very uncomfortable for her. That wouldn't be a pleasurable time. Would it?
She was in pleasure.
I mean, she's in. Who wants balls up their vagina for?
You've had balls up your vagina.
Stuck some marbles up there.
As a child.
When I was 15. But that's it.
Was it a friend's mother?
Let's abandon this.
Let's abandon it a bit.
It's like an auction masquerade ball.
Yes.
And he's like, "Oh, I'm auctioning off my apartment in blah blah blah," and she's like, "You have an apartment in blah blah blah,"
Yeah.
and like rolls her eyes at his wealth, and I'm like, "What? You don't get to roll your eyes at wealth."
But what happens when she rolls her eyes, Carl?
He leans in after she spends her money that he gave her on charity. "I don't know whether to worship at your feet or spank you."
Is this technically a crime? It seems like a tax write-off. Like, I don't think legally he can give her $24,000 and then she spends it on a charity ball. It seems a bit like some questions must have been raised because it's also his thing. I don't know.
I mean, he probably just like owns the banks.
Oh yeah,
He's so wealthy.
he's so wealthy.
We then see his childhood room, and it has so many UFC posters.
Oh my god, this man was into wrestling hard. And does it pay off? He's not really a
I think it's really homoerotic though.
Yeah.
And I hope that pays off.
But then he also has his, like, dead drug mother in one of the frames of the WWE
And it's not like a
posters.
nice picture of her.
No.
It's like she's just rifled through the garbage looking for more cocaine. And he's been like, "I'm going to remember this.
We remember this.
I'm going to
fondly.
remember how you were, Grouch from Sesame Street."
What's his life? So he was from 0 to 5. He was abused. 5
to now.
to 15.
Happy?
Oh, no, he gets adopted by the nurse, which did feel like a conflict of interest. I don't know if you're allowed to do that.
Yeah.
So Mrs. Gray, the doctor, adopts him at age 6. She's like, "You're good until you're 10." And then her friend
Is like, "Hey, you're an attractive 15-year-old. We're not even gonna have sex. I'm gonna make you submit to me for 6 years sexually."
Then at 21, he's out in the big bad world.
So, and between 21 and 27, he sexually abuses
15 women. But during this whole time, he also amasses a fortune of, I assume, $4.5 billion.
And this is a romantic film.
And this is our lead we're rooting for.
Alright, it checks out.
It checks out. I think the biggest issue is that if you've got this premise, I don't think focus on the plot.
Yeah.
I think
Again, Darren Aronofsky would have been like, "Hey, this causes. What is an actual character that's been through this actually like?"
Because I don't think it's like this guy.
If this movie doesn't, if this trilogy doesn't end with his like suicide,
Yeah.
or just something really tense and upsetting,
Yeah.
to show that there are actions to all of the abuse throughout the film, then I just don't know.
I don't know what... I think, honestly, like, if this didn't have sex as the selling point, this would be insane. Like a crime.
Yeah.
But I think the sex almost saves it, because, like, listen, it's just a porno. Oh, goodness.
I kind of like how sinister this masquerade ball is, I must say.
Yeah.
There's like a bit of a mood to it that I like.
Bit Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah, like one of my favorite things is the tone of Eyes Wide Shut, and I would love for it to be applied to like a more like involving film. I love Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah.
But like that is a slow burn of a movie, and I'm like, masquerade balls and like conspiracy stuff is really insidious.
Yeah.
And I'm like, haven't seen it used to its full effect, and I think it should be.
There's one shot in this that like it's like a bird's eye view. They're all like sort of dancing around. There's like a checkered board floor. Doesn't really mean anything. I just thought it was a very nice shot.
Yeah, I like the part where Mrs. Robinson comes out and she just like puts the mask back over herself.
Yeah.
After she's had like a very tense talk with Anastasia.
I think if you play this a bit right, it could be a bit more campy, but then also a bit more frightening.
Yeah.
And it could really work. Which is, this, like, the first one I don't think could be saved. The second one...
You need to add more plot to that first one, or make it 30 minutes shorter. But anyway, so they get home from the party, someone's ruined her car.
Yes, someone's broken into
But I thought she gave up the car.
I thought she gave up the car. Also, it wasn't an Audi in the first one.
They've gone, that's red.
Yeah, close enough.
People won't remember, but we remember.
How did this person get into the... Because it's the creepy girl, right? How did she... I know she's, like, was there before, but how did she break into this... What I assume is, like, a castle in Seattle.
A castle in Seattle?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows? She breaks in. Oh.
They then go on, like, a... so after this is when they wash his nips.
Well, no, wait, hang on, Carl. You forgot how we got here. They go, all right, our house has, like, been broken into. What's the only thing we can do? We go to the boat, and we go on a boat montage.
Oh, that's right. A boat is the only safe place. They have no chemistry on this boat.
No.
There is a part where she's like, that's a nice house, and he's like, a woman lives there, and she looks out for a widow, and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, did you just make that up? And he's like, yes. And they're like, and
I thought he owned the house, and that was the gag, or not just that it's just a house. It's literally like they were filming... And someone went, oh, who owns that house? And they were like, shush, we're going to write that down. Because that's character moment.
Yeah.
What's it meant to show?
He's funny.
Oh, really?
He's fucking funny. He should do stand-up. Could you imagine going to a stand-up comedy and they're like, see that house over there? I'm a rich billionaire, by the way, but see that house over there? So there's this widow, right? What's the deal with widows?
You know when you have your 14 sexually abused woman and you're all like, sign this contract to give me all your rights, and she's like, no.
You know when you whip out your vaginal clamps and they're rusty?
You gotta go down to the hardware store and you gotta get the vag.
You know when you're sexually abused at 15 and it awakens something in you that ruins you the rest of your life in an emotional standpoint?
Women. Am I right?
Oh, is that crickets I hear? Her boss, so after they have their little boat ride around to Taylor Swift's music.
His lipstick's still on his chest.
Yeah.
What happened? They just get off the boat? I can't remember.
They go on the boat and get off. Yeah. It's like they're like, we'll just go on the boat at the night.
Well,
they also suggest he built it.
Oh yeah, they do.
It looks like a very extensive boat. I don't know if you can...
27. A canoe takes like 4 months.
Between running $1 billion business and abusing women...
Professionally. Like, it's a
full-time job. The contract signing takes weeks. In between that, he's also working out a shit ton.
Yeah.
When does he have time to build a boat?
A yacht. It's a massive super yacht.
I'm convinced it can't be done.
No. At 27... What, did you go to school? Like, what?
They should do a documentary. I watch a Netflix documentary on him.
Just how he lives his life.
Anyway, so she goes back to work and her boss now starts negging her.
Yes.
Because she's not interested in him.
because she was annoyed because he was annoyed that Mr. Grey.
Yeah, basically she already had a boyfriend.
Yeah,
that's what he's upset about.
Yeah.
He's like, when I got you, you didn't have a boyfriend. Now you have a boyfriend. Boo.
I wanted to fuck you. And it's like, oh, good.
This guy looks like such a dickhead.
Yeah.
And he acts so poorly. I can't imagine, one, he reads, but two, he picks good books.
No. And then...
So...
Sorry, yes, so then...
God.
Is this when she kicks him in the balls, or he's not done that yet? So
this is when he, like, tries to corner her at the office, yeah. Oh, no, that's after, I think.
That's after. It happens...
Yeah, it is. I've written Hyde gets himself Me Too'd.
Yeah. Is it so that happens now?
That's after. That's after. Cool.
So he's just...
The only thing in between is sex.
Yes, they go to the red room.
But it's the kinky.
Yes, and this is where I was upset, because you said in the last one that they should have had more staff in the house. They do now have more staff in the house, and I'm already upset because this like not nanny, like cook and clean is so acutely aware what they're doing,
Definitely.
and it's so upsetting.
Yeah, and I bet she's still underpaid.
Oh, 100%. She has cleaned those floggers all the time, and it's just so upsetting that Mrs. Jones, that's her name. Mrs. Jones, I'll give her a name. Like,
it's not fucking Frankenstein or something like Dr. Frankenstein.
Oh, that's Frankenstein's monster. Yeah, no, Mrs.
It's not Ratatouille. It's Remy.
That's the equivalent. Actually, the rat was called...
The rat was called Remy. They make Ratatouille.
Oh, so they have this spread bar. I don't think we've actually talked about the sex scene that much, because they're pretty, like...
These sex scenes are... Apart from the one where he flips her...
Yeah.
That's the only kinky one.
This is I think it's
There's
this
less
one.
Sex, in my opinion, and less nudity in this
Yeah,
film.
it's just like, you're gonna rock my world. Like, three spanks and missionary.
I'm convinced there's going to be no nudity in the last one and no sex.
And
it's
heist.
going to be all blood. Probably. He's like, you want to know why I'm so rich?
Puts the mask back on, just like...
I like the idea of him putting on glasses and he's like, I've got to assemble a team of 10.
The horny mum's friend. My 15 girls I've abused.
Gray's 15.
Oh my god.
I know I abused you, but I can make it up to you. We're going to rob a casino.
Which casino? The white casino. The black and white casino. Because grey.
We're going to rob 50 grey casinos in one night with 15 of us. Can you do it? And they're all crying because he's abused them for so long.
So they have like a spread bar. She gets her legs spread open. And they fuck. They do the flip thing.
I did see, you know how there's that locked down movie coming out with Anne Hathaway that's like the heist? Somebody commented that it should have just been called COVID's 19. And I'm like, that's so disappointing they didn't do
so good, but it would have been...
It makes no sense, but I love the idea.
I'm chuffed. I'm
all
happy.
about it. Okay, anyway, so then they have sex. Nobody takes their clothes off though, really. So
he keeps pulling his pants down.
He pulls his pants down, but she's now completely clothed too.
Yeah.
So good on her for equality, but this is supposed to be a sexy film.
Yeah. She then goes, oh, just a second, I need to stop the sex, I need to go back to work to be harassed by Jack.
Yep, so she goes back, gets harassed, he gets fired, she gets a giant fucking promotion.
She was, was she a secretary? Or
Yeah,
so
she was the assistant.
They've gone, I feel so bad for anyone else working in this office, because you must be furious. If you're second in charge, and the secretary just gets the job, you'd be like, I've worked so hard at this publishing company, and the fucking cunt, but it does... She asks him, did you do this for me? And he says no.
But he did.
He did. He definitely did.
The other thing is, they go to dinner, and he's like, take your underwear off. And she does. And then he begins to finger her, like, everywhere they go. Still in an elevator with, like, a giant room. He goes in to whisper, gets really, really close to the face, and is like, don't come. And I'm like, how... Do you know your volume set? This is a small area. You basically yelled it, even though you went to her ear.
Hey!
And she's moaning, too. She's like... Like, you're definitely standing there going... There's two people behind me fucking fingering each other. You'd be trying to be so polite about it.
I would smashing the button, just like...
I'd be like, I would be like, get me out. I will take the stairs.
Oh my god! Did we talk about the pitch meeting? So she gets the job immediately after Jack's fired, and they're like, "Well, you need to go to this pitch meeting." Oh,
do you want to go with the like a lot of people that worked their way to the top, who are so much older than you and know so much more about the business because you've only been in here from an internship.
Yeah. For like a couple of months. Oh, less actually.
Yeah.
They then ask her, this is like, I absolutely love this because the writer definitely got all the control.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They go into the meeting. The guy's like, let's
not make books anymore.
No, let's
is
just
his solution.
Let's keep doing the classics. And then you kind of think, that's weird. Then Anna's like, you know what? I think we should do that. But I think we actually need new faces. And there was this book I was reading on the internet, and it did really well. So maybe we should give them a chance.
Maybe we should just publish internet books.
Yeah. Thoughts? And they're all like, we all agree. That's correct. And it's the most... it's probably the biggest wank of the film, and it's a porno film. So that's a bit of an issue.
It's funny. I have a friend in publishing, and he's like, there was a craze from the success of like a handful of books that went big from the internet, and then everyone started doing it, and they all bombed.
Yeah.
So that craze is gone already.
Yeah.
So she does everything so successfully. They then have like a 20-minute game of pool. So fucking
so
long.
long, doesn't it?
It's such a long game of pool.
Sorry. I think this is your extended cut.
Oh, for fuck's sake! They play a full game of pool.
No, they do not.
They do.
She
comes in and she's like, "Hey, you want to vote?" It's probably like
You're joking.
Oh, you're right. It's probably like a 7-minute scene, actually.
Oh
like,
my
there's no
god.
sex. They just chat playing pool.
All right, give me in detail what happens.
So she lines up the white ball with the blue. She misses. She hits it. He makes a gag. He turns around. Like he's stripes. She's solids. It's so long. Fuck me. It's definitely the extended edition. God damn it.
So bad. Well, mine's way better. So while they're playing pool, the creepy girl, Leela, as we now know her name is, has gotten into the house, even though they went on the boat for a day. I don't know how she got back there. She's in the house and she has a gun. I'm terrified, Carl. What happens?
So it's just Anastasia upstairs, right?
It is.
And she pulls out the gun. She fires one shot.
Yes, to show that the gun is working.
Yep. Then what's his face runs up.
Yes, Christian walks up.
With his hand out like a superpower.
Yes.
She kneels down, crying.
It is.
And is like, for the first time, listen to me and get out.
To Anastasia.
And Anastasia runs out into the rain for a few hours.
The girl literally has a gun, all the power, and because Christian goes, no, submit to me, she just crumbles.
Oh, yeah, he diffuses the situation so quick.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, who's in charge here? And she's like, you.
Me. I'm
have the gun.
Yeah. And then he strokes her head, and I think, do we ever see her again?
Sorry, no, we never see her again.
I assume she's...
But because Anastasia goes missing, we do get a scene where he's on the phone, and he's like, I don't know, people are combing the streets, find her! Oh, she's here.
Yeah. He
hangs up.
I was thinking about that. He's like sometimes the best private investigators. I don't think we talked about it, but he added to the red flag. Yeah, he has a book, like a file on every woman he's ever fucked. And they're the best private investigators, and yet they can't find her while she's walking around. Insane.
So there's blah blah blah. They want to marry now. He does an incredible pose on like a gymnastics thing.
Yeah, and she's like, well, I'll fuck him.
She's like, yep, I'll climb you like a wall. Give me the ring. So, but then she's like, I don't know if I want to get married. But your birthday's coming up, and that's exciting.
Yeah.
And then she's like, here's your
present.
Here's your present.
Yeah.
3 days early or something.
Yeah.
He's like, why would you give it to me this early? The line of dialogue's pretty much like, I don't know. And that's the end.
And that's the end.
Like, they're like, hey, this is a very important present, but because you're going to go missing for a while later in the story, here, have it now. Oh, but why am I getting it now? Cut!
Cut. We're done. Okay.
You can tell they cut, and the actors went, why is this happening?
And they went, we don't know. Because it's not needed.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
I
it's
don't
not.
think it is.
No, it's not.
Your face just now, like the gears turning in your head being like, No,
Well, it didn't.
doesn't need
Because I was like, oh, why does he... I thought he, like, had it on the helicopter, which
Yeah.
we'll get to.
Yeah.
But no, he just has it in his pocket, so she could have handed it to him after the helicopter. Should we get into the helicopter, Carl?
They shouldn't get into it.
Oh, that's good.
You can do the helicopter
All right. Christian has to go to Washington for no reason. I assume business, we're never told. He and his female pilot, I guess she's the pilot?
She's not flying it.
She's not flying, she's just a pal. She's never...
I'm convinced she comes with the helicopter.
I think so, which is a bad business
Do you reckon
model.
he buckled her in sexually?
Oh, well, I think he has to buckle everyone in like that. And then, what's it called? Ellie Goulding did not play this time, which is
No.
upset. So you know it's going to be a bad helicopter ride.
I knew things weren't gonna go well.
No. The helicopter starts to go down.
Why?
The helicopter starts to go down, and the woman says, "What's happening?" And Christian goes, "We're crashing." Why as the helicopter goes down, you ask Carl. I'm going to move on. And it crashes.
Yep. Hilariously.
Yeah.
It's not even that dire a situation.
No.
They're like, it's out of control. And she's like, well, just land there.
Yeah.
And then they do.
And then they do.
It's not like there's an explosion or anything.
No,
it just kind
no.
of lands hard.
And then we've been told on the news that everyone finds out.
They spent no money on that helicopter scene.
No.
It looked like shit. And it went on for so long.
So long.
So long. It felt like they were crashing for about an hour. Like, they were screaming and panicking so much, I feel like they were both like, are you parched? I would love some water. Is there water? You brought M&Ms? Oh!
Okay, so the lamest helicopter flight slowly descends to a park. Everyone is then notified that Christian's gone missing. They all come to his house, which seemed weird. I don't know why.
Yeah, and I don't know why the friends go.
No.
Like, I get why the brother goes and the brother's girlfriend goes. I don't know why Jose goes.
Oh, that's right. Everyone's here, and Jose is also here because Jose.
I get.
Jose, I feel so bad. Anna's like, so how'd your photograph thing go? He's like, yeah, it did really well. Can we talk about us? He's like, shut up. My husband's in a helicopter.
I do like it though, because if you're there, the mum must be like, all right, so Anastasia's in a relationship with Gray, so that's fine.
Yeah.
You're the brother, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You're Rita Ora, so that's okay.
That's a tick. Kate's here because...
Jose, who the fuck are you?
Who are you? I took pictures of Anna.
And then your son bought them, and then I also tried to force a kiss outside of a bar with her a while ago. She'd be like, so you can get out.
You can leave. You can really leave.
Rita, I'm still not sure. Don't know
I'm
why
your
you do
daughter.
You were French last movie, but
And
you're
they're
English this
They're
movie.
adopted, so it doesn't really matter. All right, so again, Christian is so powerful at being a dominant person. He can submit time and energy and the universe around him. He's crashed. He then brings his body to the apartment, opens the doors like...
There's only been so few hours between the helicopter crashing, him walking the entire way to... Unless that's just the backyard.
He owns the whole of Washington and has ordered a train to be built back to his house.
Is the other woman dead?
She's not, because she turns up, I think, like 5 minutes after, which I don't get. She must have had family, 1. 2, why 5 minutes apart?
I do love the idea where she rocks up 5 minutes later, and it's just like, did you have to power walk?
Really? You're in that much of a rush?
Yeah. Was the weird sexual chemistry we had at the beginning just that made it too awkward for you?
You put me in so sexually into that belt.
You were clearly asking for it. You made clicky sounds when they clicked. Click. You wanted it just as much as me.
You victim blame. Anyway, Christian, after his whole family and friends, or he has like family, he doesn't really have friends.
They have shower sex too.
No, well, he's like, all right, everybody out, I'm horny.
He's pretty much like, the plane went down 4 hours ago, so I haven't fucked twice since then. Once maybe, but twice. So I need Anastasia now.
Everyone's like, I don't think some people don't even ask if he's okay. Their mum's like, oh wow, I thought you were dead.
She's like, I'm gonna treasure every minute with you from now on. Having said that, I do have to go.
I think that's her line. It's insane. Oh, anyway, what's the worst gift to get to a billionaire?
Keyring.
That'd be pretty good. Seattle little keyring.
The key to Seattle.
I'm gonna say
a parachute.
Wayo. Have you ever seen a keyring of, we live in Sydney, a Sydney keyring, and on the back it has in Comic Sans, yes or no? I've never seen that being made. I have no idea why you'd make that. So why does Anna find one down next to Mr. Grey's house and then gift it to him as a present?
I don't get it.
I don't get it.
I don't get why you needed it early.
No.
Wouldn't it have just been like, you almost died. Here's your present early. You've earned this. He doesn't even need water. Isn't he parched?
He must be the M&M's kind of dried him out.
No, he'd want a glass of milk then to cover the sweetness. Dial it down a little.
Dial a little bit bad. The chocolate's very heavy. You don't want to get all that sort of stuff on you. Ugh.
So anyway, they decide to get married. There's an engagement party. Mrs. Robinson isn't happy.
She's not chuffed. Because she does not approve of Anna. Because why? Because she's can't be submissive? Or...
Her opinion is he needs a submissive, not just in the bedroom, but in life.
Yes. Dangerous.
But is that to say that she's the submissive that he needs, even though she was the dominant for the 6 years?
Is it like Star Wars? Like, she's the master, he's the Jedi, it becomes the Emperor apprentice. You know, I've seen the Star Wars, I'm a big fan of them. The Yoda.
Baby Yoda. Love Baby Yoda. So she then gets a drink thrown in her face.
Yes.
To which the mother's
This is the greatest, bit of moments in history. So Anna throws a drink in her because she's like, you're not right for him.
You're not right for him and you raped him. And the mum's like, what? Comes over, slaps her. So she's now had the drink slap combo.
Which is a hard reality.
What does Mrs. Robinson do in reply?
Walks away.
Drops a napkin on the
that's
ground
right.
For the help to pick up. Powerful.
That's Miss Robinson for you.
Rock me to a core.
Did this, and again, we haven't seen the third one. Do we think this plotline is going to come back?
She'll be back, surely.
She'll be back.
I reckon she's going to team up with that dude.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Now, I do want to... I don't know if this is from the extended edition. I have a ton of issues with this.
Okay.
They go up to his childhood bedroom.
Yes.
And he has a poster of the Vin Diesel film Chronicles of Riddick.
Detail. What the hell was that?
Why Chronicles of Riddick?
I try to find if someone had written the film. I try to find if there's a connection.
I think it's the same company, the same distributor maybe.
But that's not.
But here's the thing: I worked out that he would be 22 when he saw it.
He was 22.
Yeah.
What do you? Oh, because it's 5 years. Because when
when the film came out and his age, therefore he would be 22.
So the second he got out of his submissive relationship, he was like, "Well, thank God, I'm gonna go watch the." Maybe it's a powerful moment for him. He's breaking his shackles of this. I have no clue why this poster is here.
But people like the first one. People like Pitch Black. Nobody likes Chronicles of Riddick.
No.
Why Chronicles of Riddick?
Was it the first
but
one
even
we
then,
saw?
this is his childhood room. So at 22, he had to go.
Watch the film, buy the poster,
and
bring
put
it back
to his childhood room, and then wasn't he already a billionaire?
He must have
Didn't
been.
he finance the movie?
That's how I got his start. I was given a small loan, and I made the Chronicles of Riddick, and this is why I'm very successful. Yeah, because he doesn't seem to have. He must have been. His parents are kind of rich. We know that they're rich, but they're not. Well, they're rich, but are they billionaire rich?
Man, I don't know. There's a lot. They have fireworks.
They do have fireworks, but I thought he kind of funded it because the mum's a doctor and the dad's just a socialite.
Why Chronicles of Riddick? So this kid's childhood room has 2 posters of the UFC and 1 poster of Chronicles of Riddick. That's a red flag.
That's not even a red flag. That's just a strange burning flag. You kind of go, let's not touch that at all. Also, on one of the frames is his dead crack whore mama. I wish it was on the Riddick poster.
Oh god, why is it Chronicles of Riddick? It's a bad looking poster. It's not like it's like, oh, you know how it's like, so I don't think Suicide Squad's very good.
Yeah.
But I love their posters.
Yeah.
They had a great marketing campaign, which is why it did so well. So I have a Suicide Squad poster. Okay. Not hanging up, but it's somewhere.
It's somewhere. Well,
that's okay.
Did this company, which company was it that made it?
This movie, Universal.
Okay, never mind. I was going to say, did they not have like a kids property that was...
Why wasn't Jurassic Park...
Oh, yeah, just something.
Like, here's the thing. You could... Even if you were like... I would buy it if there was a 14-year-old that had great nostalgia for Chronicles of Riddick.
Yeah, exactly. You watch it at a young age. But he was in this relationship... Because you're right. It came out, like, what, 5 years before his movie?
Yeah. What?
Was it a joke in the cast and crew?
Maybe. Vin Diesel wanted to be Christian Grey. Like, I don't... have you seen it?
I've not seen it, no.
So the first movie's like a horror movie.
Yeah.
Where Vin Diesel's like a villain who can see in the dark. And he's like an alien that like kind of like terrorizing this ship of people or whatever. But then they kind of team up, blah, blah, blah. It's a very cheap film. It's like a $10 million film.
Yeah.
This is a $150 million sci-fi epic. That's the sequel.
Wild.
So there's no...
tone, like...
There's no comparison to like, hey, do you love that first one? Now Riddick's a good guy. and it's like a...
And it's Star Wars.
And it's like a Star Wars type film. And then the third one came out and was like, it's back to being small again. Ooh. So, anyway, that's where we are. Anyway, he proposes in that garden where they fucked earlier.
Yep. Oh, wait, don't they propose in the pool?
Yeah, isn't it surrounded by a garden?
Oh,
it's like that green room.
Oh, yeah. Bad.
Whatever. And then they say yes, everything goes okay, the fireworks are going up, but somebody's on a hill.
Oh my god, this terrified me. Jack has somehow...
Say his full name.
Jack Hyde. Jekyll and Hyde. Wow, I swear, I don't know if this was... was his face burnt or something? Because he looked so comically
He looked like
evil.
Hyde stands on a hill, drugged out, smoking.
He then ashes. Because he takes a picture at the mask ball.
How did he get a ticket?
No clue. And he burns an ash into Mr. Grey's face. Which...
I'd love it if they never came back to it and it's like he just needed a means of putting out his cigarette.
Well, I got this photo. I'm not using it. I'm over her, so I'll just...
But isn't it crazy? He took a photo on his phone.
Yes.
Went and got it printed out, then kept it in his pocket for a long amount of time until he felt the need to extract anger. You could have gotten you could just print out a picture from the internet, couldn't you?
I thought it was still his phone, so I thought he ashed onto his phone. I'm like, what a bold move. But yeah, no, you're right, because he's like, I've got this picture printed. I need to then hike up a hill to the next valley so I can see the house.
It would make sense if binoculars like over his, and he's like, I'm gonna ruin their lives. He's such a horribly nuanced. There's no nuance to his character. Why
what
is
do you
he
mean?
angry?
He's got two sides to him. One's nice, one's just this evil rapist.
Do we think
even then he's not that nice? He's just Hyde.
Like Anastasia's like, I don't want to have sex with you once, and now he's the villain of the films. Horrible
If
writing.
that's the case, Jose should be the villain.
Why isn't Jose the villain? That would make more sense.
It would make more sense. He's got...
I think Jose, the writer dude, and Mrs. Robinson are going to unite.
Oh my
and
word.
going to extract revenge on the family. So...
Yeah.
That's the film, but what's your predictions for the third one? Because neither of us have seen it. No clue how this ends.
Are we going to record this and put it at the start, or are we just doing predictions just roughly for us now?
I think just do predictions for the plot.
Cool.
Not about who would watch this, but the plot.
Alright, predictions. Okay. They're on a good note. They're married.
Yeah.
I've heard nothing. I don't think I've heard...
I don't know anything about it.
I've not heard anyone watching this film or seeing it. I hope they keep on this trajectory, because this was more fun.
Yeah, very silly.
This was silly and fun. I think she's gonna get cold feet and not want to marry him. Jack's gonna keep stalking them, I guess. And then I think he's gonna get rid of, like, super early. Because I think they just don't want him.
Yeah.
And
Do we think anyone's going to die?
yes.
I think Hyde will die.
Yeah, he'll
I think
die.
he's going to try and do something violent and he'll die.
Yeah. I
don't think that either of the two mains will die.
No, there's no reason.
Everyone's just going to have a happy ending.
I think... Yeah, but, like, how would it end? What's a happy ending? Just she becomes submissive, he gets better? Because it's kind of teasing that he's fucked up. He's 50 Shades of fucked up, as a matter of fact.
He's 50 Shades of fucked up darker. So, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
Because he can't... I assume he can't stop being dominant, right?
Does the movie... Will it end on a sex scene? Like, this is what it's amounted to?
Yeah, I think so, maybe.
Is it going to be like the whole movie, he's going to want to do it in the butt? And she's going to be like, no, no, no. And then at the end, she's going to feel safe enough to do it in the butt.
That's a powerful moment, I think, for both characters' arcs.
This movie has, like, no ethnicities in them. Like, it's
Oh, no, I
no
thought
diversity.
that. Well, no, there's one, there's Jose, but he gets cucked and is pretty much the butt of the joke and a bad person.
Do we think there'll be any diversity in the next one?
When was it released?
A year after... They came out a year after each other, didn't they? So 15, 16, 2017, 3 years ago? 4 years ago?
Maybe. Because I think people started getting a little bit like, hey.
You should do that.
Yeah.
I reckon Jamie Foxx will be in it.
You think? The third? I think they want to decline. I think.
Do you reckon somebody famous will be in it? Are they going to introduce new characters or just use the characters?
They'll introduce new characters, no way about it. But I just don't... They've got Rita Ora, so you can't top that.
Oh,
You know.
I'm convinced all movies need a Rita Ora now.
A bit of Rita Ora sprinkled in.
Rita Ora. Delicious Rita Ora.
She's like an Oreo.
She's got a good aura about her. She's like a Rita cracker.
A Ritz cracker.
A Ritz cracker. A Rita cracker. Let's go. Who would watch 50 Shades Darker?
This film is a lot better. This film is 1,000 times more enjoyable. The first one is bland and not that sexy. This one isn't very sex-driven. If anything, there's less nudity.
And way more plot.
But there's more plot and it's more fun. And I think you've hit it on the nail of the coffin. You've hit the nail on the head. Nailed it. It's a couple movie to watch together. But we both watched this alone, did we not?
Yeah, I watched it alone.
Oh no, I watched it with a significant other, so it's an L on you.
Congrats, you found somebody that wanted to watch this with you.
Yeah, they were very passionate about watching this.
It was just me, alone, my cock out, waiting for something to stir, and it never did.
What do you mean the cooking scene got you all riled up?
That's true, it did.
Who would watch this? Alright, who would watch this? Now, I think it actually does merit a rewatch. I think if you don't watch the first, jump into this one.
Yeah, I think it would actually be so much more random and jarring to just watch the second and third.
I think so, yeah.
Without any of the setup of the first.
No.
God, who would watch this? Again, no fans of the book I think would watch it.
No.
I don't think it's for any fans of the first film. Like, if you liked that first movie, you probably won't like this one.
I think it's pretty universally not like that.
I know, but all of them are.
But I think these ones keep jumping up in ratings, and maybe that's because less people saw these ones.
Yeah.
But I think people were like, this is just campy.
It's up by like 0.3. Like, it's not like it's jumping up.
But it's definitely a worse film.
Yeah.
Yes,
from a filming standpoint, this is worse.
Yeah.
From an enjoyment standpoint, much better.
Yeah.
Because it's more hammy and silly and dumb. God, I don't know. Maybe if you're a cat person.
How fucking dare you piece of shit.
Not like any cat person, like a Tiger King level cat person.
Oh, like really into like a Midwestern woman?
Yeah,
who's really
a
cats?
Midwestern Tiger King female woman.
Couldn't imagine people owning this on DVD. Like, it'd be a pretty rogue...
Imagine having you've bought the 3-pack.
It probably costs like $10, I reckon, at Target.
Yeah, probably. I hope all the money goes to Dakota Johnson.
Oh, I hope so. She
deserves an apology from everyone that made these films.
I feel so bad. I saw, because I was just doing research, I saw her, like, remember how her house kind of went viral because she showed her around? oh, she's so well read, and I felt so bad.
She's so intelligent and articulate.
Yeah.
And poor Dakota Johnson.
Poor to that. I just was just like, you are better than this.
You know what? You'll probably watch it if you're a fan of Dakota Johnson.
I think so. What else is she in? What else is she in?
Bad Times at the El Royale.
Oh, I haven't seen that. Is that good?
Yeah, it's okay. She's in A Bigger Splash. She's in Suspiria. She's
very loved, but she's not in much.
No, she's like an indie darling.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I like her. I always like her and stuff. She's in How to Be Single. So, you know. I guess, okay, that's mine then. Who would watch this? The fans of Dakota Johnson.
There we go. That's pretty nailed it on the coffin. Nail on the head. Fuck!
Oscar? Have you got a palate cleanser, or should we not bother for this one?
I got one.
Okay, what's your palate cleanser, Oscar?
Do you have one?
No, I'll find one.
I'll find one. Just make up a movie.
Yeah.
My palate cleanser was I watched Heat for the first time.
Ooh. Oh.
It's pretty good.
What a surprise!
Yeah, I was like, oh, I didn't love it as much as I thought I would. My biggest gripe was that there wasn't that much. I feel like I liked a lot of the characters, but they didn't get much screen time. I feel like Natalie Portman was just like plot.
Is Natalie Portman in that?
Yeah, she is.
I do not remember her in that film.
She's the young girl who cuts herself.
Oh yeah, Al Pacino's daughter. No?
Yeah. I think it's really cool. I really liked it.
You can definitely see where The Dark Knight got its aesthetic from.
Oh, wow. Yeah, completely.
Yeah, so, because I know that Christopher Nolan made everyone watch that.
Yeah.
Like, I think he always shows 3 films before his crew makes a movie. But he strived for Heat. Heat has such a scale.
It does.
It makes me... It's like, to me, the closest you'll get of, like, a Grand Theft Auto. In terms of the sheer violence
That's
on
what I
the
was
streets.
thinking. It was amazing.
I think they're just phenomenal. And I think Val Kilmer's great in it. And everyone loves that diner scene.
Oh, that was really good. I hadn't realized they hadn't been in a film together. Robert De Niro
and they weren't in like a scene together for the
Godfather.
because they improv'd that. Well, they didn't improv it, but that was during the dailies. They went, oh, should they not meet before the final?
Oh, really?
Of the film, and they quickly typed up a scene.
Oh, really?
And that's the diner scene.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It was really good. I really enjoyed it. I definitely I feel like if I watched it a bit younger, maybe I would have liked it. But like watching it now, I see how much inspiration people got from it. It's really good. I kind of wish it was just a bit like it's a weird like time. I feel like before then you couldn't make a TV show like it deserves 5 hours of content or like 10 hours of content.
Yeah,
like it's a big story. And it almost feels weird a bit only being 3 hours. Like certain bits get cut off that shouldn't.
I'd love to see it in a cinema. I know the Orpheum plays it once a year.
I would love to watch that. It'd be really good. What's it called? Apparently Michael Mann?
Yeah.
What's it called?
Hasn't made a good film in years.
Oh, how dare you. I saw...
Black Hat.
Black Hat. Yeah, no, pretty good. Really good. I get why people love it. It was okay. What about you, Carl?
I rewatched Galaxy Quest recently. God, that movie holds up very well considering how old it is. Not just from like effects wise, it's actually pretty solid still. Yeah. But I think in terms of having a commentary on like fandom and things like that, the Sigourney Weaver's whole thing through it where she's like, people just asked me about how it felt to be in the suit and things like that.
Yeah.
Which is like, I don't know, it's like, I feel like had that movie come out now and done like a commentary on superheroes instead, be huge.
I think so.
Like,
it's true actually, yeah.
I just think it's so spot on in everything that it says about fandom.
Yeah.
But while also celebrating like fandom. Like I love the fact that it's like...
People say it's like the best Star Trek movie, and I think that's
I think it's terrific. I love the fact that it's done as niche. Like they picked the niche, which is Star Trek, to base it around.
Yeah. Which
is probably why it wasn't a huge hit of its time.
Was it not a huge hit, was it?
No. But I mean, it's a big hit now.
Yeah. I think it really shows... It's a great comedy, but yeah, it's a great plot. I love a comedy with a really good plot.
It's a terrifically creative premise.
Yeah.
But it sets up stakes really well. And I genuinely think the villain in it looks so frightening. And his costume breathes.
Yeah.
And it's so well done. And like his head has like spider things that move with his emotions. And I'm like, as a practical effect, it looks fucking great.
It does.
And I love how the aliens move.
Oh, yeah.
And there's so many famous people in it, like Justin Long and Rainn Wilson, Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell. He's just like, I'm extra number 3.
I love the guy that he's constantly like, I'm definitely going to die. And they're like, you're not going to die. And there's a part where Sigourney Weaver's like, get out of here before one of these people kills Guy.
That's right, his name's Guy. Yeah, that is a really good film.
Like, there's so... And it's, like, I still think one of my favourite gags... I think it's so clever that the climax is... And you can cut this, because I feel like it's a spoiler if you haven't seen Galaxy Quest. But they're trying to defuse the bomb.
Oh, yeah.
And it only goes to 1 and stops, just because it never went past 1 on the show. So they've never designed a bomb that goes to 0. Is very funny.
It's really funny. The best one is like also when they're like going through the vents and like all the things all crushing and stuff. They're like, why is this here? It's like, it's in the show. It's just
she's like, what horrible writing. This was a poorly written episode. And just I think they get good relationships too, of like how just bitter. It's like, because there's always a real auteur on one of those shows, and that's the Alan Rickman. Like, it's really good. Like, I think it's such a good, clever comedy.
Has Patrick Stewart ever commented on it? Because he's that, and William Shatner's like
the other.
Like, it's so that it's very funny.
That was interesting. I was reading up on it because apparently they had a lot of issues with Tim Allen because he had never been asked to like do a lot outside of comedy, and the movie asked him to like emote. Yeah, and he apparently had a lot of trouble doing that.
Really?
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting because I think he's really good at it.
It's one of his best performances.
It probably is his best performance. Yeah. I don't know if I like him in anything else.
No, I think he's playing that same character every single time. This one was like, you're a douche, but you kind of...
I think this is where he treads the finest line.
Yeah.
In terms of being a likable douche.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh. Love Galaxy Quest.
Good stuff.
Alright, Scott, what are we reviewing next week?
Next week, buckle yourself in a very seductive way. We're doing 50 Shades Freed.
Ooh. It's a title that makes no sense, and who knows what's going to happen.
We don't know. I don't think...
I guess it'll have to do about freedom.
Does he let her go? Powerful. I have not heard a single person talk about this film. No one.
I have no clue what's in store.
No.
How exciting!
I'm so excited.
All right then. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. See you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Alright guys, thank you for listening. Tell your friends about us. Maybe one day we'll read out your weather. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and YouTube.
And if you have a film you'd like us to review or questions you'd like to ask, email us at askwwwtpodcast@gmail.com.
You can leave us 5 stars on iTunes or any sort of praise anywhere. It helps new listeners find us and our egos grow.
Alternatively, don't do anything and see if we care.
Yep, ball's in your court.
Thanks for listening.
See you next week.